All eyes on the Lakers and the Suns and two of the league's top scorers, LeBron James, Devin Booker, picking up second quarter. Oh, here's LeBron flying down the lane off the little nice dish from Alex Caruso. He's got his bucket on one end, and the Lakers are within one, but on the other, here comes Devin. Booker had 15 at the half. LeBron had 15 at the half. Phoenix had a 7-point lead. Good game. Third quarter, Lakers still down by 7. Watch this sequence here. LeBron fouled after the play. Watch what Booker does. Sort of tosses the ball hard at the referee. He would be assessed a double tech and get ejected from the game. His night, done. He'd finish with 17 points. Suns have a 3-point lead after 3. Could they win without him? To the fourth we go. Suns up 4. Dario Saric, no good. Oh, we got a nice save, though, and Jay Crowder, the bucket off the glass. Suns up 7. Here comes LeBron on the other end. 3 of his 38, keeping the Lakers in it. But it was more than enough for Phoenix, even without Booker. A minute left, off a miss. Here comes Bridges for the slam. He had 19. Suns win, even playing the fourth quarter without Devin Booker, and are now in second place in the Western Conference. And so as we head to the All-Star break, there he is. Jalen Rose gets up early with us here. And Jalen, the Lakers have one more game before the break. That's tonight in Sacramento. LeBron is not making the trip. It'll be the first game he doesn't play this year. They have a bunch of injury concerns. You keep saying you're not concerned about the Lakers, and I keep asking you, does that change this morning?
It does not change. Good morning, Greeny, this morning, because when they're healthy, I don't believe there's a team in the NBA that will take them to 6 games in the playoff series. LeBron James is missing his first game this year. That's outstanding considering this is his 18th season and he's 36 years of age. Anthony Davis has been injured. When Schroeder came back recently, we saw LeBron could go to a different level. But this is all about the Phoenix Suns. And how about reinvention? When Chris Paul went to the Clippers, they had championship or bust expectations. They didn't meet those expectations. Therefore, people assassinated his character. When he went to Houston, they had championship expectations. They didn't get it done. People assassinated his character. He actually reinvented himself when he went to OKC because people appreciated watching a Hall of Fame player that's a veteran nurture other young players. And because of that, the Phoenix Suns went to the bubble and played terrific. They were 8-0 and led by Devin Booker, which tells them now we can acquire Chris Paul. Now we can acquire Crowder and try to take this next leap. And that's exactly what they did. And I love their young core group of players that they drafted. Devin Booker, Bridges, Ayton, Johnson. They've been terrific this year. Monty Williams and his staff, player development. The Phoenix Suns are the story right now.
Yeah, look, I mean, all year long, we're talking about the Lakers and to some degree the Clippers. And the top 2 teams in the West, and it's not even close, are Utah and Phoenix. And so we will see if that stays that way. But I want to ask you about something else that's happening tonight. The Nets go to Houston. That means James Harden's return. And he did a really good interview with Malika Andrews in which he said he hopes the fans will show him love. What do you expect tonight as James Harden returns to Houston?
Malika's really good at her job, and they're going to show him love. But here's the thing. He's a Hall of Fame player. Tillman Fertitta acknowledged that they're going to retire his jersey, as they should. But there will be people that have a sour taste in their mouth about how it ended. That's just how it works. They're not going to ignore what happened this season. James Harden is a fantastic player. And people do take it personal when you say you don't want to play for their team. And how about being someone from Houston? You lose James Harden. Deshaun Watson is unhappy. And so I'm pretty sure while they're going to celebrate all of the things that he did in Houston, there will be some jeers for James Harden when he returns. But he is one of their all-time great players in the history of that franchise.
Now, to your point about the city of Houston, the Astros also lose George Springer, who is an incredibly important part of their team. It's been a rough time in that sports city. But what do you think? You think that when they say his name tonight and, you know, number 13, James Harden, what will the reaction be in the arena?
Well, initially, there are going to be some boos. There are going to be some jeers. But it doesn't take away from his all-time greatness. He was an MVP there. He was in the top 2 or 3 for multiple years. He also was he won scoring titles 3 years in a row. And James Harden is a fantastic offensive weapon. Like, one of the most unique offensive weapons that this league has seen. So they're going to celebrate him, give him his flowers. but there will be people that are upset about how it ended.
Of course. And very quickly, Jalen, what have I told you that I think right now he's playing better than he ever played there? You watch James Harden right now. The game he's playing, the way he's playing the game right now is the best he's capable of playing, yes or no?
I hate to tell you this, you're right, because it's more attractive. Like when James Harden was in Houston, his numbers were on steroids. He was getting these numbers, but it was like 35, 40, 15, and 15. Now he's more under control. He's in cruise control. Anytime you have a triple-double the way he did without having a turnover, you know that he's in his Duffy.
I don't know what that means, but it is the first time in history.
He's in his bag.
He's in his bag.
He's in his bag.
Every now and again, I just need a little explanation. Jalen, thank you. We will see.
There's a clear dividing line. Stan Van Gundy decided we're giving him the ball. We're going to give him the ball in transition. We're going to let him ISO up top like some linebacker version of Giannis. And we're going to set screens for him. He's going to be a pick and roll ball handler. And by the way, we're going to set screens with him with our centers. We're going to use our guards. What are you going to do when J.J. Redick sets a screen for Zion Williamson? You can't leave J.J. Redick. Lonzo Ball, he's going to flare out for threes. All of a sudden, defenses are confused, and this human bowling ball is coming at you. And by the way, you see the way he came at Rudy Gobert last night? He's not scared of anyone. He'll just jump right into people's bodies. 7 foot, doesn't matter. They're falling down. He's still going up and laying the ball in. He's a really good passer. Defenses haven't found a comfortable answer for Point Zion yet, and it may be a long time before they do, if they ever do.
Point Zion is becoming a thing. Quickly, let me just throw something at you, Jay Will, because I did this list yesterday, and I seriously considered putting Zion at number 1. But here was my list that I did on the radio show yesterday of the top 5 players I would start a team with right now. And as you see, taking age into account and everything else, I have Giannis at 5, Jokic at 4, Jason Tatum at 3, Zion at 2, and Luka Doncic at number 1. He turned 22 years old on Sunday. Jay Will, what is your reaction to the list?
I like Zion number 2. I just need to see him once again. I have trust issues, Greeny. I just want to see him be healthy for a full season before I can definitely say he's the second best player under 25. I still have Giannis MVP.
But is he a guy that can carry your team to winning a championship? He's the one guy who has the most experience of everyone on this list in the playoffs and has, to some degree, not come up with the moments and the plays and maybe the game that is necessary to be the best player on a championship team.
If you surround him with the right talent, here's what I will say about Zion right now. And I'm not saying he is these two players with him and Lonzo Ball, because I know where people will go, but they are an unorthodox Gen Z version of Karl Malone and John Stockton. Like that's Lonzo Ball and Zion Williamson with the way they're utilized in screen and rolls. Like when Lonzo Ball, and Zach alluded to it, when he sets a screen, he's shooting 47% behind the three-point line in the month of February. And he's a gifted passer. So Zion passer, bully ball to the rim. It's really hard to guard with the spacing that they have on the squad.
Zach Lowe, you saw the list. What's your reaction?
I think it's a pretty good list. It seems a little exuberant on Tatum right now, but considering his age and the fact that he's still recovering from the coronavirus, he's one mini leap in playmaking from justifying that number 3 spot. Luka, as we've talked about, is the right choice at number 1. And Mike Malone, the coach of the Nuggets, is going to be very happy to see Nikola Jokic finally appearing on one of these lists that people in the media do. And he's right. The guy just turned 26 years old. He's about the same age as Giannis. He's a human triple-double. Defenses have no answer for him. So I like that we're giving him a little love. Giannis at 5 and no Joel Embiid. Perk is going to side-eye you for the lack of a Joel Embiid appearance the next time he's on the show.
Yeah, I'm with you. Not having Joel Embiid hurts, but I just can't have Giannis at 5. I can't have the back-to-back MVP of the regular season as the 5th best player under 25.
And that's not the question. The question is, who would you start a team with? And if your goal is to win a championship, and I told you right now, you could either have Jason Tatum or Giannis Antetokounmpo. You could just start a team with one of those two guys. Which one are you taking?
I'm still taking Giannis.
You are. And how about you, Zach Lowe?
Still taking Giannis, but it's very, very close because of the 4-year age gap, and I know that Tatum is a great shooter from all over the floor. Giannis has still got to prove, hey, what's my go-to move in the playoffs when you wall up on me with 4 defenders?
Let me give Giannis Bradley Beal, and then let's start talking about how Giannis can be looked at differently.
Yes, you can give a lot of people
I understand,
Bradley
but it's who you
Beal.
surround the player around, though, with, Green. That goes a long way.
I understand that, but I mean, Luka Doncic is making everybody on his team a trillion times better, and that is what it's about.
That's why I agree with you on Luka Doncic. I think Luka Doncic is a similar style to LeBron James, but all the other players, you have to surround them with another piece. Luka is a turn turnkey offensive system in its place.
I miss these arguments again. Jay Will has them every single day. Gets it right. So Luka Doncic turned 22 years old yesterday, Jay. Who is the only player in history to win an MVP at that age or younger?
Himbo, you know how much I love you. And you and Greeny crushing it in the afternoon on the radio. But you know I know the answer to this question. You know I know the answer to this question. As a matter of fact, he's a member of the Knicks, and he just joined the coach that he had in Chicago when he won MVP, Derrick Rose.
That is correct. I thought you were going to say, and he shares your last name. That is correct. You got it right. Jalen knocks it out of the park early. Okay, we're going to talk about Luka in just a minute, but first we're going to talk about the two leading candidates for MVP this year. They were both on the floor last night, same time, same place, LeBron and Steph Curry, but this was a night that belonged purely to LeBron and the Lakers. There he is early from the outside. Now here he is on the defensive side. LeBron taking it coast to coast. Lakers scored 41 in the first quarter last night. They had a 20-point lead. And then here's another bad moment for Golden State, adding injury to insult. Pay no attention to the ball. Just watch Draymond Green. You see him hobbling there. Now we'll show you exactly what happened. He's going to come down on the foot of KCP, rolling the ankle. Draymond would leave the game. He would not return. And frankly, it probably wouldn't have mattered. This is a blowout. Time winding down before halftime. Here comes LeBron. 3, 2, 1, knock it down. Lakers scored 73 points in the first half. They had a 29-point lead. Third quarter, we go here, and the Lakers lead is 30, and we got more from LeBron and company. On the inbounds, Markieff Morris. LeBron wouldn't play a whole lot longer than this. That's Markieff for the two-handed slam. Lakers, their largest lead was 32. Morris had 13 points. LeBron would score 19. He wouldn't play the fourth quarter of this game as the Lakers just flat out dominate to win this one 117-91. So, Jalen, before we get to the really fun stuff today, let me just ask you about the Lakers. We had them 3 times this week on ESPN and ABC. What do you see in them right now as they continue to play without AD?
That they're head and shoulders my clear-cut favorite to win the NBA championship. Once Anthony Davis comes back, I don't think a team – I'll say somebody will take them 6 because that's what happened in the finals last year with the Miami Heat. But nobody's going to press the Lakers this year, Gritty, when they get healthy. And now that we're closer to the All-Star break, the MVP conversation keeps getting thrown around. And I love James Harden, for example, as much as the next person, and I'm a fellow lefty. But to me, it's so disrespectful when I hear people say that he's the MVP of the league, like they're not watching LeBron James play basketball this year. He's played every game. He's leading the Lakers in so many different categories. AD's been in and out. We see once he get a little help with Schroeder, he's even now having the energy to play defense. Kyle Kuzma tweeted yesterday that LeBron James should be in the conversation for all defense. And so it just frustrates me as a voter when I see people ignoring the entire body of work. People, if somebody's going to win the most valuable player and it's only been 30 games played, you can't take 9